And ahead of the 2015 general elections, the Deputy Chief Imam of the Abuja National Mosque, Ibrahim Makari, says citizens should shun violence and vote for a candidate that will satisfy their yearnings. Malam Ibrahim made the remark during a special procession by Muslims in Abuja to mark this year's Eid-el Maulud, the birthday of Prophet Muhammad. According to him, the celebration gives Muslims the opportunity to reflect on the life of the Prophet and his message of peace and unity.
Muslims in Nigeria join other Islamic faithful around the world to mark the Eid-el Maulud celebration in Abuja. After several hours of this special procession around the city of Abuja, the Eagle Square, which is at the city center, became the meeting point to listen to sermons from the clerics. One after the other, the clerics took the podium, stressing the significance of the celebrations to their congregation. Also, Deputy Chief Imam of the Abuja National Mosque, Ibrahim Makari, urged citizens to shun violence and vote for candidates of their choice during the February elections.
Our message to our fellow Nigerians is that election should not be considered as a do-or-die affair. One should make sure his vote is an amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask him in the year after how he votes and who he votes, and one should make sure that he make this election, he elect a candidate that he is sure that after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he can depend, he can justify why he make this choice.
Others use the occasion to request that citizens live by their various religious teachings as a means of securing national unity and peace.
Christianity teaches love and forgiveness, and as Islam is a religion of peace. So if the religion of peace and the religion of love and forgiveness should kind of harmonize their efforts and come together as two formidable religions, I think Nigeria will be a better place for all of us to live and in harmony for the benefit of mankind and for the benefit of Nigerians.
Muslims believe that Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet sent by Allah, the reason for the celebration.
And this news just in, suspected members of the Boko Haram sect are currently attacking security formations in Babangida, the headquarters of Tarmuwa local government area of Yobe State in northeast Nigeria. That is according to some residents living around the area. That is Babangida, headquarters of Tarmuwa local government area. Babangida town is said to be 50 kilometers away from Damaturu, the state capital. Residents said sporadic gunshots are currently being heard across the town as sect members arrived the town at about 6:30 this evening and engaged with security forces in a gun battle. The source also confirmed that places currently under attack include the base located north of the town, the police station in the southern part, as well as the local government secretariat, the government's lodge, and the boarding primary school of the area. A security personnel member who is currently serving in Babangida town told Channels Television that the report of a possible attack on that town by militants was heard some days back, but expressed dismay that no meaningful measures were taken to avert the purported attack. Channels Television will keep you updated on this story as we have it. 2014 has come and gone, but memories linger. Some were not pleasant at all. On the foreign scene, many tragic events occurred in Nigeria and abroad. In this next report, our foreign affairs correspondent, Pt.2 Fagbemi, reminds us of some of the global events that shaped 2014.
The year 2014 saw many events that created a stir and dominated the world's attention. In Nigeria, the night of April 14, 276 female students were kidnapped from the government secondary school in Chibok in Borno State. Boko Haram claimed responsibility for the attack, which drew widespread condemnation and global outrage. But almost 9 months later, the girls are still missing despite assurances from the federal government and the offer of help from several foreign nations like the United States and Britain.
My view is that this is a Nigerian problem that should be led by Nigeria. The whole idea of expecting the international community to do your job for you is perhaps misplaced.
Still talking Nigeria, in September, South Africa seized a Nigerian's private jet with $9.3 million found on the aircraft. It is believed that the money was for legitimate government transaction to buy weapons to fight the Boko Haram insurgency. Outside our shores, on February 22nd, the Ukrainian parliament voted to remove President Viktor Yanukovych from office after days of civil unrest left around 100 people dead in Kiev. Unhappy with this, Russia denounced Yanukovych's removal from office, and on February the 26th, it annexed the Crimean Peninsula. One of the most painful memories of 2014 was perhaps the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, a Boeing 777 airliner en route to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur. The plane went missing on March the 8th with 239 people on board. It is believed to have crashed into the Indian Ocean. Back to terrorism issues. In June, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant began seizing territories in Iraq and Syria, and on the 29th of June, the group proclaimed a worldwide caliphate. But it wasn't all bad news in 2014, as Cuba and the United States decided on December the 17th to end decades of hostility by restoring diplomatic relations severed more than 50 years ago.
We will end an outdated approach that for decades has failed to advance our interests, and instead, we will begin to normalize relations between our two countries.
Unfortunately, though, the year ended on a low with the fatal crash of Indonesia's Air Asia flight QZ8501 early on Sunday, December the 28th. The plane was flying from the Indonesian city of Surabaya to Singapore. 162 people were on board the flight. With all the tragedies in 2014, it was a relief to bid the year goodbye and welcome 2015 with hope and faith that it will be a better year. Temitope Fagbemi, reporting for Channels Television News.
And we have a live discussion with Ambassador Joe Keshi and some of those global events that shaped 2014 that Temitope just reported on. So please stay tuned for that in the course of this bulletin. Now, transforming Oyo State requires concerted efforts in several critical areas, as well as opening new vistas to overcome contemporary challenges in a budding global economy. Tourism is one area the Oyo State government appears committed to, and Governor Abiola Ajimobi says no stone will be left unturned to produce global competitive tourist sites across the state.
There are over 35 tourist attractions spread across the 33 local government areas of Oyo State, and for several years, none has been viable, as successive governments have made attempts to revive the sector. Those half-hearted gestures have contributed largely to the non-existent nature of tourism in Oyo State.
I go to Gambia and they live solely on tourism.
Obviously dissatisfied with this trend, the Abiola Ajimobi administration has put a plan together to transform the botanical gardens in the Agodi area to a world-class resort.
And here is an opportunity untapped. So we just thought, okay, why don't we bring another Dubai, another South Africa, another China, or some of these other places, even Switzerland. And so we decided to come up with this project. I believe this project will very much impact on our economy in this state. In fact, the South Africans that are helping us here, with some Nigerians that are their partners, they said they have never seen anything like this in Africa. That by the time we finish with our concept, it will be better than what they have in South Africa.
On the viability of this project, the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Princess Adetutu Adeyemi, says all parameters are being considered to make the resort sustainable.
Everybody thought that, what we used to have in Trans-Amusement Park before, it's about time we come back to that. You cannot begin to imagine the amount of money that the government made during Trans-Amusement Park days, because people come from all the way from the north, from Lagos, everywhere to come and visit that place. It's the same thing. We are creating a world-class resort there. The entire project to the completion is going to cost about 1 billion.
Channels Television went round town to feel the pulse of the people on this project. They appear excited at the opportunity of such a site in the heart of the city.
Ibadan is creating it now, which is very, very good. Once you find enough time to go around, it relaxes the body.
It will generate more income to the state as a whole, and also for people that see Oyo State as one very dry place, they could always it could attract people from all over the world, Nigeria, and from so many places.
The brand new Agodi Gardens is certainly a sight to behold. Ancient trees have been preserved in their natural environment. The beautiful array of swimming pools equipped with water slides, the well-laid-out restaurant area and the forest walk are just a few of the transformed sites of the Agodi Resort and Conference Center.
The children of Ogun State Juvenile Correctional Home are now in high spirits. This is because the state's governor, Senator Ibikuli Amosun, took out time to celebrate the festivities with them. The governor also commissioned a transit home for the children, said to be the first of its kind in Nigeria.
Thank you for today. Thank you for today. Thank you for your grace.
This performance is not the main reason for the occasion. The gathering is to share the joy of the season with children of the Ogun State Juvenile Correctional Home, Ashero in Abeokuta. And the state governor, Senator Ibikuli Amosun, is here to commission the transit home for the children, the first of its kind in Nigeria.
To the glory of God and to the use of our people, I commissioned this transit home. Let me now.
The Juvenile Correctional Home, located in the state capital, was established in 1958 as a correctional facility for children who are in conflict with the law. The idea is to further expand its functions in line with modern-day realities and development. And this transit home, equipped with modern facilities, will provide an abode for victims of domestic violence and victims of other societal menace before they are reintegrated and reunited with their families and the society.
The commissioning of this transit home, which I did in coming in here, is coming to fore not only to provide temporary accommodation for victims of human trafficking, but also for those that are repatriated from other states and other vulnerable groups, to enable them stabilize prior to their home tracing and unification of relatives.
The State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Elizabeth Shonubi, pledges to ensure that abandoned children are not left out in human capital development in the state.
Since the inception of this administration, child abandonment had reduced drastically, and this is the aftermath effect of the well-defined and implemented social programs. Talk of free education, talk of quality health service delivery, and because of what we have been doing too from our social welfare, I want to say that here in Ogun State, rates of abandonment had reduced.
The governor participated in the cutting of the cake and took to the dance floor with the children.